Hey guys, it's Punkify here for MMOHut.com. Today I'm going to do a first impression gameplay video for Heroes in General. It's a 3D shooter published by Redomodo, and I'll spend about 15-20 minutes or so checking the game out, and of course making some comments. If you guys want to know more about Heroes in General, you can check down below at MMOHut.com for the full review / game profile. So Heroes in General is a tactical shooter with a tactical overlay interface, as you can see here. The cool thing about this game is that you're not just actually jumping into a session to play with other players. It has a real persistent element to it where battles are chosen and decided upon by other players, and there's kind of this tug-of-war actual aspect to the game because of the fact that you have the Allies and Axis side, and it is set in World War II, so you kind of really have this feeling that it's a battle. Now, to help me kind of explain the game a little further, we have the game director from Redomodo, which is Jacob Anderson. Jacob, how are you doing today?
Hi, thank you.
Good.
Hi.
Now, Jacob, can you help me explain a little bit further, like what exactly makes Heroes in General unique? What makes it better than just like a typical session-based World War II shooter?
Well, what makes Heroes in General unique is that we have strung together a series of action games into a huge war type system, where every battle actually solves a little sub battle on a huge European battleground map. So everything you every time you complete a mission, the result is sent back to our war server, and you sort of like influence the entire war by playing the action game.
Yeah, what we're looking at right now is I'm actually like looking around and I see, the Axis part of the map. I see all these little dots, and then we have the Allies portion, the blue portion, which we have kind of like these little cities here, and I notice some of them are on fire, and then the other ones look like they have little post-it notes or little mail that's going in between each one of them.
That's all the little dots colored red or blue is cities, and they actually represent battlefields. Some of them have little villages on it, and some have factories on them, and some of them have only just a forest, for example, this terrain type thing. But these are sort of like the connecting points of the strategic game. The little envelopes you see, the post-it notes, that's actually like military tactical symbols. That the symbols represents little assault. We call them assault teams, but it's like a combat unit. And the strategic players, they move these combat units, assault teams around on the strategic map to conquer the battlefields, the little dots. They move them along the lines, which is what we call the supply lines. So everything is connected into this huge grid where you move your units around. If the units come across an enemy unit, as an enemy's assault team, you get into the mode where one of the commanders can choose to start a battle to fight over the city or the factory or whatever, wherever they are. And as soon as they initiate a mission, you will see out in the right side of the screen we have a mission list. If a commander clicks on the engage enemy icon, which he will see if his unit comes across some enemy, a new mission will be created, and players can actually just join that mission and start fighting in the 3D game.
And then the winner of that actually determines who actually conquered that city, correct?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned like the commander or I guess general in the game. How do players become generals versus like... So you have this tactical like area where certain players are picking and choosing what resources to send to what towns. How do they actually get to that point where they can...
If you see at the top of the screen, we have like three large words. One there's characters, and there's assault teams, and there's campaign, and that's actually different screens of the game. If you click on assault team, you will go to the assault team screen. On the assault team screen, you will get an overview of your current assault teams and where they are and how many men they have and stuff like that. Info about your assault teams. If you don't have any, you can just click on buy this slot, which is an assault team slot, which will open up the possibility to have assault teams in the first place. Mm-hmm. And when you've activated an assault team slot, you can obviously get to the menu where you can buy new assault teams if you have the credits for it. you buy assault teams from what we call in-game credits, which is earned by playing the game. So the more you play the action game, you actually earn credits to buy assault teams to fight it out on the strategic level as well.
I see. All right, why don't we go ahead and jump into one of these missions? I noticed that it looks like a mission just recently broke out on Alzi, or that's where I saw both sides just recently clash. But let's see here. Well, we've got Defend Mountain Village, which is 9 versus 10. We have Defend Benoit Village, which is 0 versus 4, and then Skirmish near. And I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. Kaiserslautern, I guess.
Kaiserslautern. That's in German.
Kaiserslautern. Yeah.
We can take Kaiserslautern. We can take that. I think that
right.
will.
So we're gonna go ahead and just jump into that mission right there.
Yeah. As soon as you click on the enter combat, you will be sent to the action game will start up, and it will obviously load the resources for that mission.
I see. Yeah, it looks like it says there's 6 MG, 14 riflemen, and 6 tanks, with the friendly having 176 resources versus the enemies 154.
It's true. That's the sort of like the spawn count. That's how many infantry. That's how many lives you have. How many times you can actually spawn in the action game before you lose. And the tank number is how many tanks you have in the game.
And those
that's part of the strategic game, that when your assault team contains these actual, which is just like spawns in the game, and you move them to the battle. So during
the amount of tanks or MGs that are actually present in the game are dependent on whoever is commanding your friendly forces, moving those tanks into position or moving them to actually supply.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. So that's kind of like a thing it's a bit dangerous. We're working on it right now with a new mission lobby system that isn't in this build, but obviously this is something that people will say, this is wildly unbalanced, and that's sort of like the mission lobby will make sure that it's not too unbalanced, but the whole the premise of the game is that it actually is. You will run into battles that are unbalanced, because that's how the strategic game is played.
And if it's unbalanced, it's up to your commander. He dropped the ball. He didn't give you enough resources.
Exactly.
Yeah. Alrighty here. Alright, so we're finally in a game here. We have the Infantry 1, Infantry 0. I'm going to go ahead and go Infantry 0, which is the assault teams. And then from there you can choose like Machine Gunner, Rifleman, etc. I'm going to go with a Rifleman. And just go ahead and looks like, are we defending at this point? I guess
we are defending. We are defending.
Where should I actually spawn? We have multiple spawn points here.
You should spawn at the police station. That's the
closest.
That's inside the city, and you can have a look at that. Obviously, the one axis joined now, and we if you bring up the map, you'll see 2 red dots. There's a north and a south entrance, and we don't really know where he's gonna come from. So we'll just stay in the center of the map.
Alrighty.
His objectives here it would be to take the 2 blue stars. That's like the church and the what we call a police station, a building inside the city. If he captures those 2 and holds them for I think for a few minutes, then he will have conquered the map.
All right.
One of the things that
more players will join usually, like on these maps.
Yeah.
So like we have 1 Axis player right now, but there's only 2 of us, and I believe when we were doing a little bit of testing, we kept getting more and more players as time went on until it capped. Now what is the hard cap on maps right now? Like is there maps that take more players?
No, yeah, we have a 10 versus 10 on this server. We have 12 versus 12 on the next one, and we're gonna slowly just ramp it up to. I think the strategic level design would say about 48 players or something like that. We'll obviously take it as high as we can, but the trick is to keep everything organized in smaller groups to maintain the team-based play. So, for example, if you just let 128 players into a map, you sort of like lose the coordination and the feeling of playing together with other players. It's just like we don't want it to turn into like a big rush fest instead.
I shall act as the decoy on my bicycle.
On your bike.
He shall be wondering what I am doing as I do circles and 360 wheelie pops and whatnot. But yeah, I like that they have different vehicles in the game. It's actually quite nice to have. Should I grab? All right, I'm gonna grab in the gunner seat here. And of course, the gunner seat's a little bit buggy, but beta is beta. And alpha in this regards is alpha, and I'm sure these things will get fixed as time progresses.
Oh yeah, obviously it's that's one of the good things about just getting the game out and having people playing it, that you sort of like get the priorities right. What to fix first. I would say we could just sit around and work on stuff that probably wouldn't be important for the player. So I think I actually really like this way of developing a game, where just put it out there and then see what people bitches the most about, and then we'll fix that first.
So where are you taking me?
I will try and see the southern access point and see if...
Looks like he's taking the barn. If I bring up my map here. And one thing I really like is that the map is rendered in 3D space, so it's actually like I'm actually holding a map here, you know, and looking exactly where things are happening like you would in real life. You know, it's not like you don't just bring up a map that is just like an overlay that kind of breaks that immersion. And I saw that your guy actually pulled up the map too whenever you looked at the map.
Yeah. That's one of the really. It's a nice little feature that it's actually dynamic map that works in game, like it does.
So taking the spawn point now, where he took the points to the north. So he took the points.
So well, actually, you should just get back in the car and then we'll.
Yeah. This is like a inconsequential area right now.
That's sort of like the thing that why I said that we should spawn in the city, and we should actually have just, if we were more players, we would just stay there until he would reveal if he was coming from the north or the south. That's one of the things about we have asymmetrical maps. Usually you have a defender which is in the center of the map, and then you have attackers that comes from several sides around the corner or around the edge of the maps, which brings a lot of variation to the maps, because you don't really know where the enemy is coming from, and the map plays differently. If he's coming from the north, you have to obviously go to the north side. And
these maps are quite huge. I believe I just lost him. Are you there?
Yeah.
Lost you for just a second, but these maps are quite huge. These are larger than Battlefield maps. These are very large scale maps that really can accommodate a lot of tactical aspects to it. I'm gonna go ahead and jump out there because I know there's a guy over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get him to.
Oh, he's in the middle. He just shot me. He's in the back right area, so I'm gonna spawn in the police station again. I guess church would be a better spawn point, so I'm gonna spawn in the church here and go for that point. Did he take you out as well?
No. I'm just prepping the whole area with sticky mines. Hopefully he'll run into one of them just in a second.
So mines, how exactly do you unlock? How exactly do you unlock mines? Is that like something that you purchase?
Yeah, you purchase them and equip them, and you have to swap them for hand grenades right now. So you lose your hand grenades, but then you get your mines. And we have several types of mines. We have like the anti-personnel mines, which you just put on the ground, and when people step on them, they'll blow up. Then we have some heavy tank mines, which obviously players can run onto without blowing up, but the tanks will blow up if they run over them. And then we have both magnetic mines, and these Americans have sticky mines that you throw, and then the sticky mines will stick when you throw them. So you can throw them at a tank, and it'll stick and hopefully blow it up. The Germans have a magnetic mine instead, so you have to sneak up and really close to a tank, and then you can stick it onto the side of it to blow it up. It gives a nice a nice balance to the fact that you can actually take out tanks as a normal guy as well, because the tanks are really powerful, which they're meant to be. There's not a lot of them, but they
have a big impact on the game.
Yeah, and it's like if you play as a tanker, you should just not stick your head out. If you're good at controlling the tank, you obviously stay inside the tank, and you have your machine guns and your guns, and you have both armor-piercing rounds, and you have high explosives. So you have a good variety of weapons to take out the infantry and basically all other units. But if an infantry guy can get close to a tank, he can be really, really dangerous. So you have to, when you play the game, obviously you have your tanks, but you have to have support from infantry as well.
So you mentioned like there's a finite amount of tanks. Exactly how does the game determine how many tanks there are? Is that determined by the assault teams? Like how many
Yes,
resources they brought in?
yeah, the same way as you have your normal spawns with the men. It's like if you brought 13 tanks, you can spawn a tank 13 times. And obviously, if you have
They're
a commander
taking the church.
Oh shit, we need to get it.
All right, so is that the middle point? Yeah, that's the middle point.
Yeah.
And they're taking it quite quickly. I'm running
That's
up.
probably because there are a lot of them standing around. If the more people or more players you move into the capture points, the quicker they capture.
All right, so I'm running in here, following your lead.
Ooh, I got shot.
Where's he at? Where's he at?
To the right when you get to the center of the church.
I'm going on the outside here. I feel like I'm not in the right area. I'm going up like one of the tower spires here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm gonna crouch back down. All right. I can hear him.
Yeah.
I can't see him. And this actually creates a lot of tension.
Oh,
it's a lot of.
I got one.
You got one?
Almost.
It's actually. Oh damn! This actually creates a lot of tension since you can kind of hear them, you can kind of hear what's going on, but you can't actually see anybody. I want to change to a rifleman.
I picked up a German machine gunner.
Oh yeah.
You can pick up the enemy's weapon. So if you catch a machine gunner, you should definitely just pick up his weapon because it's that will.
It's a good weapon.
Oh yeah, machine guns are good, but there's not a lot of them. People have been complaining a bit about that they're too overpowered, but I think in the first place, we're gonna remove the amount of machine guns because when you compare how they operate, they're actually pretty close to how you would expect a machine gun to operate. And we want to try and be like as true as possible to how you would expect the weapons to work, and then balance it by having fewer of the powerful weapons.
So I just took out a guy that was headed into the police station. The one thing I noticed is that when he was jumping around, he killed me at first, but I got the jump on him, and I was shooting him a couple times, but he was jumping around, and I did see a blood spurt, but I guess I guess it wasn't tracking. Keep in mind these players might be European. I'm in the U.S., so the server's in the U.S. that I'm playing on because I was the first one that got in here.
Oh yeah, you would. I'm actually pretty impressed that you can actually play the game from the States because.
Well, I don't know if play is the word. Perform poorly would be a better term for that. I'm performing poorly, but I'm still I'm 2-5. I just saw a guy. And it's got a guy, yeah. So I noticed that like if you steady your aim, if you really take your time to get those shots, you actually can do quite well with the Garand and.
Oh yeah.
He'll be back.
The Garand is if you go prone, if you kneel down, it will be easier to hit people.
Yeah, I'm currently fighting off 2 in the entrance of the police station.
I'll get in there and help you out a bit.
Got one. So this creates a lot of tension because these areas are quite large, so you can you can hear them taking the other points. You can just kind of like sitting here like hoping that you can defend it. Since it's such a crucial area here, you can go up in these buildings as well. I like the fact that you can go in buildings. These buildings aren't just for show. Can you break out the glass?
You will be able to. Right now you can't, but you will be able to. That's one of the things that our FX guy is working on to get the. We call it a shot activate, but that's sort of like a thing where you objects change when you shoot at them.
Yeah. So I know you mentioned this to me earlier, but the health pool. I'm about a quarter HP, and I'm getting shot. And and you said that when you take little nicks and hits, that you will regen the HP. But if you take too much, then you stick with that HP. It's kind of like a
exactly like a good shot from a rifle will permanently remove your HP. But if it's just like a hit from a far distance that just hits you in the arm or something like that, you will regain the HP.
So I noticed that there's also little like HP stations where you can kind of like get some first aid essentially and kind of bandage yourself up.
Those will probably be removed at some point when we introduce the medic class to the game, but right now they're useful to just have them in. So we are sort of like working on the sort of like the when adding features, we might actually remove something else.
So you mentioned to me earlier about like the game feeling sometimes imbalanced because of like the players versus players, but partly that deals with the resource system, like having enough players and resources to send in, correct? Because like not all wars in World War II are balanced, and I just gotta kill them.
But one of the things that you can in this game is if you're playing on a team that's for example defending a city and you are underpowered, and a commander on the strategic game will be able to move new resources and more assault teams to the battle while you're fighting it. So a good commander will be able to sort of like correct the imbalance.
And the commander doesn't actually have to be in the battle, correct? The commander...
No, he can just sit out in the strategic map and move his resources around, move some tanks to the battle if that's needed, or move some more men if that's needed as well.
So there's always this persistent overlay, this element that's on top of everything that like, you may have a limited amount of resources right now, but like halfway through the battle, if you can hold out, your commander may be able to send in more tanks, more riflemen,
Yeah, exactly.
Much more to work with.
And that should well, it's the same thing as in a real war. When you're a commander, you will try to sort of like seek out the weak spots in the enemy's defenses, and you'll exploit that, and then the enemy would probably reinforce the weak spot when you attack.
So I'm sitting on top of a broken out house, kind of looking for the enemies as they come in. I do see one guy from afar. Can I hit him?
You can try.
He's pretty far. But what's the range on the Garand? Is it fairly far?
It's very far. It's if you can hit, it shoots sort of like a real Garand, so it will be able to hit on a long distance. But you have to account for the bullet drop, obviously.
Yeah. And there is no, we don't have any holographic sights or anything like that. This is all iron sights.
Yeah, but you can get the sniper rifle, obviously. Then you have the scope.
Yes. So we're making a good push now. Granted, it is 3 versus about 7, but.
Oh yeah. Right now we are definitely on top here.
It was looking a little hairy there when it was only 2 versus 2.
Yeah.
But and these are just players who jumped in the battle. They saw that. It looks like they're taking the service station. And they saw that there was an oncoming battle, and that it was in need of players, and so they were able to join in.
Yeah.
I'm having a little skirmish at the service station.
I'm see if I can get up there before everything ends.
Ah! Now that was probably a counter for lag, because I was right on top of him, that Chapman guy. So I'm sure those things will change a little bit better once, let's see, I'm going to spawn on church. Once the game goes into, more servers and more players from the US. In fact, for those of you watching this, for those of you interested in playing or trying out this game, MMOHut will be hosting a 500 beta key giveaway for, of course, Heroes in General. So if you guys want to actually try this once you take a look at the video, you can go ahead and go to MMOHut, and the giveaway should be up soon. I think within the next week or so. So you guys should be able to jump right in this and try it out. Maybe you'll be better commanding forces. I got that guy. I didn't get that guy, but I got the assist. Maybe you'll be better commanding forces and shooters than I am, most definitely. Now, is the knife one hit, one kill?
No.
You gotta stab people a little bit more than once.
Oh yeah. It's not. Oh, you have to hit them first of all.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
That's usually in a real situation that would be the trick, to actually try and hit a person with a knife. It seems like we got the service station now.
Yeah, they're taking the southwest barn, looks like, or they did. So I'm going to push out here. Now, when we do take all these points, like let's say we took all these points, right? What benefit is there what benefit is there to like do they run out of resources faster, or do they spawn only like in the uncappable areas? How does that work for them? If we were to take all these...
when we take all the caps, yeah, we can actually force them off the map by pushing them all the way back to where they attack from. But you'll see up in the top of the screen, there's a defender is winning now in 17 minutes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that means like if you just hold the city for 17 more minutes, then we'll automatically win.
I see. All right, well, we're gonna say that we win if we take this station here. Just for time's sake, we're gonna go for this station, and the minute we take this station, we're gonna declare that a victory for Team MMOHut and Team Redo Moto.
There's a big some fighting going on down here at the.
Yeah, are they on the left or right? Where are they at?
I think they're hiding in both buildings actually.
We just picked off one guy. So crouch is control. You just hold down control. Yeah. You can kind of zoom in.
If you press C or Z, you will go into prone mode and you can lie down and you will have a much more steady aim.
Looks like there's a guy that just spawned. He was behind the small building. There's a guy now inside the building. All right, we're gonna be a little ballsy. I'm gonna move up here a little bit. Cover me. So this is the thing. I can imagine like full clans essentially like going into battles together. Oh, I'm getting shot. I can imagine full clans going into battles together, you know, and kind of like talking over VoIP and covering each other to, you know, really like you would do kind of like in World Warfare, especially in like, you know, World War II, kind of having that, you know, like communication between your allies.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
Right, it looks like the building is clear. Alrighty. Looks like we did capture the point.
Ooh.
So that is a victory for us. Let's see here. Yeah, looks like there's one more point out there. All right, I'm gonna go for one more kill or death. That's what I'm gonna go for. That will be the declaration of the win/loss. Even if, who cares if we're gonna actually win or lose? If I get shot, that means we lost. If I get a shot, that means we've won. That's our scoring. Oh, I'm getting shot right now. I'm gonna have to go to prone a little bit. Wait for my health to recharge just a bit. So as you see, like we were winning fairly handily at first, and now they have a more even team, so it's a little bit more of a struggle left and right. Whoa! I believe you're getting a phone call, sir.
A second. There you go. It seems like there's the sides are balancing out now. There's lots of enemies,
lots of access, and you know the resources too. Like they're not behind in resources. There's only 3 less access resources than ally resources.
Yeah.
I think there's a guy over there I saw.
You will experience that at some point a commander will move more resources into the battle going on.
So the battle can actually, there's battles that can actually wage on for quite a while.
Yeah, right now we have the time limit in it as well, but some players are actually requesting that we remove the timeline because they would like to see just a like an
endless battle.
Yeah.
I like those kind of battles that go like that for a while because it really feels like a power struggle left and right, you know.
Yeah.
And it's always cool to see like a battle, like you leave to go to work and come back, a battle still going on with different players.
yeah, that's true. And it also gives a good power to the commanders that they can actually keep moving men into the battle to keep it going.
Mm-hmm. It's quite interesting. It's quite cool. But I just got shot, which means that I can foresee the future that the allies are going to lose this battle. But we're gonna go ahead and call the first look for now. I really appreciate you coming on here to do this interview / kind of guide with us. You can bring up a lot of information, a lot of good points about the game. I'm really excited to see where this game goes. It definitely tries to break out of the typical shooter mold, you know, and tries to be a little bit of something different. It's kind of like a cross between a tactical shooter like Arma with something that's a little bit more arcadey, you know, a little bit more easy to get into. And I'm really excited to see how this game kind of just, you know, grows, and it's heavily focused on team play and kind of coordination, and I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot, actually. Yeah, there's a lot of tension that this game provides. You know, this like the waiting and planning and just execution. I'm really enjoying it, and the maps are huge, and I see this game becoming quite a good game. So, props to you. Oh, I just got shot again. Props to you for creating such a game with such good potential.
Thank you.
But we're going to go ahead and end it here for now. Guys, if you guys want to learn more about Heroes in general, you guys can check out the game profile down below on MMOHut.com, and in the future, of course, the full review. And as always, this is Spunkify. If you guys want to learn play this, you can also check out the links. And, of course, remember that there is going to be a... did I get them? I did get them, but I think I got shot by the same guy at the same time. There's going to be a beta key giveaway shortly in the future, so keep out for that on MMOHut.com as well. Anyways, guys, this is Spunkify, and I'll see you guys later. Spunkify out.